Frost by Thomas Bernhard, page 170. Suddenly I thought of the bustle of the capital, where between 12 and 1:30 everyone who is anyone walks along the Graben or shows themselves on the Kärtnerstrasse, as in a display window, several hundred meters long, from the point of view of the businessman, from the point of view of the manager's wife, from the point of view of the attorney's wife, and from several hundred other points of view, as for instance the chartered accountant's wife, or the women in the fruit stand, who's come up from the Nachtmarkt to be there as well. And I think how I fit into the scene with my books and papers under my arm, how I pick up snatches of conversation, a greeting or a goodbye, or even just swear words or complaints. There I am, suddenly, in the fresh air, which seems to have come down into the streets from the outlying hills. And I don't know what to do with myself this lunchtime. My friends are all gone, headed home, eating lunch with their girlfriends, or their brothers, or their aunts from the provinces, and I'm all alone. I ponder which is better, to take in the words of the self-important and the curious passer-by, or to go and sit in a park, of which there are many in the capital, one more beautiful than the next, and finally I decide on the latter course. And I've already turned down the Albergstrampe to the green island where day in, day out the birds sing and the children play tag. That's where the secretaries sit eating their sandwiches, and the milk women have a break here. And the occasional doctor of philosophy with no better option sits on some stone step or pedestal to dig into his salt beef, carefully wrapped this morning for him. It smells of jasmine and hard-boiled eggs, and there's the periodic rustle of dried leaves being pushed by one of the innumerable attendants from one end of the park to the other. A look at my watch tells me I have 2 hours till the next lecture. I put my books down on the top step of the staircase that leads up to the rather pompous Greek temple of the Muses. And before long I'm stretched out in the sun, which seems to be almost setting. Before long October's finished, and there are no more leaves on the trees, and no more humans in the park. Before long the first snowflakes will fall on my shoulders, and my sandals will be replaced by shoes. But even in winter, the Kärtnerstrasse is so thronged with people that it feels warm, even when it's 30 below. And the Graben is lit up at Christmas time, and people bump into each other, and everyone feels glad to be alive. Sometimes you might shiver a little to be standing alone in the midst of so many people, but then you think of your bed, and you don't feel sad anymore.